Good morning and welcome. My name is Mandy Huizenga, and I am your candidate for settled minister. I'm so excited. And I am so excited to see you all today, whether you're here in person or remotely on Zoom. We are so glad to have you here. And to keep everyone safe, we ask that you please keep your mask on, unless you're from on the chancel, which Kat and I will be doing. As Unitarian Universalists, we hold that there are many paths to truth and meaning, and we support one another on our spiritual and religious journeys. Whether you are a member or a friend or have just come today for the first time, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, wherever you are on life's journey, wherever you are in the world, you are welcome here.
We have two announcements this morning. The first is from the search committee. As many of you may know, this is candidating week. When our congregation gets to know our candidate for settled minister better, we have attached a schedule of events to your order of service. And these candidating week events are open to all members and visitors, and we hope you will join us when you can in order to get to know Mandy better. Due to popular demand, we have increased opportunities to get to know Mandy outside of the traditional work week. So you'll notice we have an additional evening session on Wednesday, April 27th, that's this Wednesday, from 7:30 to 9. And we have also opened up the formerly RE open house on Saturday the 30th to invite all members, visitors, and friends. We still especially invite our youth and parents and families, but anyone is welcome. We look forward to seeing you this week at the Candidating Week events, and we ask that you RSVP using the link included in your schedule and also posted on the church website, so that we can notify you of any last-minute changes and events due to weather or other unforeseen circumstances, which we have all gotten to know so well in the past 2 years. Thank you for all of your support during this week and in the previous 2 years of our ministerial search. We also have a Board of Trustees announcement. A special business meeting of the congregation to vote to call Mandy Huizenga as our next settled minister will be held on May 1st, 2022 at 11:30 a.m. The meeting will directly follow the May 1st regular Sunday service that Mandy will lead. The meeting will be multi-platform. You may join in person in the sanctuary or online via Zoom. And that link will be available on the church website. For this probably not on the church website, probably emailed to you. For this very important vote, a quorum of 40% of members eligible to vote must be present on May 1st. A quorum of 40% of members must be present on May 1st, recorded by a count of those in person and those who check in via chat on Zoom. Eligibility to vote is based on membership of 45 days or more. There will be check-in for in-person voting. If you're in person, you will be checking in the hallway leading to the sanctuary, and you will receive a ballot card. And remote attendees will join the meeting and using the Zoom link, and then will check in using the chat feature. The remote votes will be recorded by an electronic ballot, not by the chat feature. Your vote at our May 1st meeting at 11:30 is important to the future of our congregation. So please save the date on your calendar and join us. Thank you all very much.
The flame that lights our chalice is fed by the gift of transpiration from the trees. It flickers in the breeze created by the respiration of all living creatures near and far. This dance of breath invites us to conspire together in potentialities. Come, let us worship together.
Our opening words are from the book Braiding Sweet Grass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. The covenant of reciprocity calls us to honor our responsibilities for all we have been given, for all that we have taken. Let us fiercely defend what Mother Earth has given us. Gifts of mind and hands and heart, voice and vision, all offered up on behalf of Earth. Whatever our gift, we are called to give it and to dance for the renewal of the world in return for the privilege of breath.
Gather. And I would like to invite all the kids, youth, children, come on forward, sit here on our gathering quilt, and have a conversation with Mandy and myself. And we'll also get a story.
Good morning, everyone. So this morning, we're going to make you think a little bit. We're going to think about the universe and about nature and the environment. We're even going to think about you a little bit. We have a story to share. It's called You Are Stardust by Alan Kelsey, and the artwork is by Soyun Kim.
You are stardust.
Every atom in your body came from a star that exploded long before you were born.
You started as a single cell, and so did all other creatures on planet Earth.
Like fish deep in the ocean, you called salt water home. You swam inside the salty sea of your mother's womb. Salt still flows through your veins, your sweat and your tears. The sea within you is as salty as the ocean.
The water swirling in your glass once filled the puddles where dinosaurs drank. From ocean to sky to land and back again, the same water has been quenching thirsts for millions of years.
You learned to speak the same way baby birds learn to sing, by chatting with your parents. Mama, mama, tweet, tweet, tweet.
Be still. Listen, and like you, the earth breathes.
Your breath is alive with the promise of flowers. Each time you blow a kiss to the world, you spread pollen that might grow to be a new plant.
Inside your brain, electricity stronger than lightning powers your every thought. You sneeze with the force of a tornado. Wind rockets from your nose quicker than a cheetah sprints.
You grow at night when your bones are resting, just like the sheep that you count to help you sleep. You might even sprout taller in the spring and summer, just like the plants in your garden.
Your hair falls like autumn leaves. You tend to shed the most hair in early autumn and save your thickest growth for the heart of winter.
Your body changes constantly. New cells line your stomach every 3 days. You'll replace your skin 100 times by the time you turn 10.
And just as forests grow new trees in place of old ones, you grow entirely new skeletons throughout your life.
If you were a planet, you'd be a lot like Earth. Rainforests on land and algae in the oceans are the Earth's lungs. From your head to your toes, inside and out, billions of teeny tiny microorganisms live on planet U.
You know how it feels to be a good friend? And so do other animals. Bats and sperm whales get their friends to babysit. Elephants remain best buddies for life. You, me, birds flying through the rainforest. We are all connected. We are all nature.
We are all stardust.
So in this story, the author gives us many examples based on current science of how we are interconnected, not just with everything on Earth, but with everything in the universe. What do you think the last line in the book, "We are all stardust," means? What do you think, Max?
We are all special.
We're all special? Ryan, what do you think?
We all come from the same origin.
We all come from the same origin? Sasha?
We're all the same in different ways. Like, we're all like the same thing. No one's better than another person, but we can be the same in different ways.
Right, so we all come from the same thing, but we're different also. So no one's more special than anybody else, but no one's less special either.
So why does the author say that we are drinking the same water as the dinosaurs?
Because when evaporation happens, the water that the dinosaurs used to drink would evaporate into the sky, then fall back down to the lakes, rivers, and ponds, and then we take that water. And it keeps happening over the years, and then we came up and took that water, so it's technically drinking the same water as the dinosaurs.
It's like the ultimate recycling process,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, go ahead.
We're drinking the same water as the dinosaurs because water is, like Ellie said, like water is something that we all drink and everybody needs it to survive. So like water like is a cycle where it cleans and then we drink more of it.
So what do you think the author means when she writes, "We are all connected. We are all nature"? How are we all connected? And how are we all nature? Brian,
I think she means that we all belong.
we all belong? Yeah. Sasha?
Like we were like basically all made together and we're nature because like dinosaurs evolutionized and like how scientists say like apes evolutionized into humans. It's like we were all once something and now we're more.
So at one point, we all probably came from the same source and evolved.
Yeah.
We went different directions, but we all came from the same place originally, yeah.
So the author has us imagine that we are a planet, little planet Beatrix, right? So what do you think she means by that, planet you? What does that mean? Yeah?
Our insides and outsides are very diverse.
I like that.
So,
Yeah.
We can be whatever we want and imagine, however and whichever ways we want to. We don't just have to be us. We can be whatever we want.
all right. So Sasha says we can be whatever we want. Brian says that your insides and your outsides are different. Say that again, Ryan.
I don't remember what I said.
Me too. But each of us is a system. So each of us is a planet. So each of us is a system. So things happen around us, and we control some of the things. And if we are taken care of, we will survive longer. Well, thank you for joining us this morning. It is now time to go to our religious education classes. So, preschool through third grade, you are going to go in Creeves Hall with Nell. Fourth through sixth grade, you'll be going into Sophia Faz with Sarah Rubin. Middle school will be going with me into the Learning Center, and high school youth group will be in the Founders Room with Beth and Wendy. All right.
Thank you. Have fun. So if you all would please rise in body and spirit and join in singing our song of affirmation. The words are printed on the order of service, or they're on the wall up here. And then please remain standing so that when it finishes, we can do our responsive reading. Our responsive reading is number 532, The Music of the Spheres. The music of the spheres. Its rhythms are the equal, repeated seasons, the beating of the heart. Day and night, the going and returning of migratory birds. The cycles of stars and corn. The mosa that unfolds by day and folds up again by night. Rhythms of moon and tide. One single rhythm in planets, atoms, and sea. And apples that ripen and fall, and in the mind of a youth. Melody, accord, arpeggios, the harp of the universe. Unity behind apparent multiplicity. That is the music. Please join me in singing number 83, Winds Be Still. At this time in our service, we wish to honor the joys and sorrows of our community. We hold each other in our hearts and minds, whether you share your joy or sorrow at this time, or if it remains unspoken. I have one joy today. Mark and Kay Richards have a joy that their son Jordan is home from Quito, Ecuador this week for a visit. May it be wonderful. We remember those who are experiencing losses of many kinds and those facing health challenges. This week, we honored Mother Earth. May each day be filled with opportunities to reciprocate for all the gifts that we have been given by our planet. There are many ongoing conflicts in the world. Ukraine and Russia, Ethiopia and Eritrea, the Rohingya in Myanmar, the femicide in Mexico. We pray for safety and strength for people whose lives are affected and at risk in the midst of violence. We pray for peace. Even when the cares of the world weigh on us, may we find joy in our connections with each other and in the pleasures that life holds. Let us care for one another and for ourselves in all of the ways we can. As we hold each other in our hearts and minds, with all our joys and our sorrows, whether spoken or unspoken, let's take a moment to be quiet together.
Our meditation this morning is from Epiphany by Angela Mano. Though I float miles above, I am a part of life, tied to her through her breath, which I take with me in a tank on my back. I am afloat in the infinite sea. My heart races. There is no up or down, but there is worship. There is the bursting of my heart. There is the cry from the most profound depths. See where you live, humanity. See your own self. This tiny, miraculous island of life, adrift in the vast cosmos. We are so alone and so fragile. There is nothing more glorious. So said the saint, because the divine could not image itself forth in any one being, it created the great diversity of things, so that what was lacking in one would be supplied by the others, and the whole universe together would participate in and manifest the divine more than any single being. And the writer of the Hindu texts, I am beauty among beautiful things. For all eternity, there is but one earth. I will tell them, I will make them understand. Plunging back into you in a ball of fire, I will not forget your face. I will remember you, jewel of the universe, most holy ground, home.
While we know that all living things on this planet breathe, in a way, so too does Mother Earth. The following video from NASA shows our planet's breath over the course of a year. Beginning in January, we can see the concentration of carbon dioxide in the air, then the blooming of trees in the spring. And the video shows how those leaves, freshly bloomed, capture that carbon dioxide, turning it into oxygen for us. Let us watch the dance of breath.
programs and operations of the church are supported by the voluntary contributions of our members and friends. Each month, we share our offerings with an organization nominated by the congregation and selected by the special offering team. You may designate your contributions for the operating fund of the church or for the organization of the month when you donate online, or you can specify in the memo line of your check. Cash in the offering plate or other undesignated donations will be split between this month's organization and DuPage UU Church. Our special offering recipient for April is We Grow Dreams Greenhouse and Garden Center. We Grow Dreams has been providing job training and employment to young adults with disabilities for over 15 years, providing opportunities for team members to develop valuable work, communication, and social skills while learning a variety of tasks in the day-to-day operation of a wholesale and retail greenhouse business. This morning's offering for the work of DuPage Unitarian Universalist Church and of We Grow Dreams is given and received in a spirit of generosity and gratitude. Our next reading is A Small Needful Fact by Ross Gay. Ross Gay wrote this poem after Officer Daniel Pantaleo put Eric Garner, a father of 6, in a chokehold and killed him in New York City on July 17th, 2014. Garner's last words, "I can't breathe," became a rallying cry for the Black Lives Matter movement. A small needful fact is that Eric Garner worked for some time for the Parks and Rec Horticultural Department, which means perhaps that with his very large hands, perhaps in all likelihood, he put gently into the earth some plants which, most likely, some of them, in all likelihood, continue to grow, continue to do what such plants do, like house and feed small and necessary creatures, like being pleasant to touch and smell, like converting sunlight into food, like making it easier for us to breathe.
My blood doth rise in the roots
That was lovely. Thank you. For the past 2 years, our most basic, most instinctual, most important unconscious practice has also been the one that puts most of us at risk for illness, if not something far more serious. We find ourselves covering our faces to keep ourselves safe, all while doing the most basic bodily function. The first function our bodies engage with when they exit the womb, that of breathing. In and out, deep and shallow, holding and releasing. The literal breath of life. That which sustains us in the approximately 20,000 breaths we take each day. 20,000 breaths, which most of the time we are completely unaware of. We don't do this life-giving practice alone. All of our animal siblings join us in the act of respiration. The intake of oxygen, the exhale of carbon dioxide. And in the reverse, our plant cousins transpire, intaking our carbon dioxide and making and releasing oxygen. Even more, the earth breathes herself, as we saw in the video from NASA. There's a dance here. The swirls of molecules changing and exchanging, a mystical, if not magical, dance of planetary breathing, an interspecies ballet of life. Or communion, a common union of the most intimate, most life-sustaining thing in our universe. What flows between, within, and among us all, uniting all living things in a dance of life. Except when it doesn't unite us. The destruction that our modern society has wreaked on the planet means that this interspecies dance has been disrupted. Our communion of species is at risk of being torn apart. We heard in the poem that Kat read of Eric Gardner's hand in nurturing our earth, nurturing our breath, the same breath that was taken from him by force. The same breath that is taken from many people of color and low-income people on a daily basis through polluted air. People of color and low-income populations are already experiencing the effects of climate change and pollution through contaminated air from industrial farm waste, from Superfund sites placed far from wealthy, often white populations, and industrial factories. So let us imagine for a moment a child walking to school on their very first day of school. There's a mixture of excitement and a few nerves as they walk down the sidewalk, sometimes running, sometimes skipping, and they are filled or surrounded by other students on their first day of school walk as well. However, as this child gets closer to the school building, the excitement, while still there, has begun to wane a little bit. That last block that this child ran, well, it triggered his asthma after a bus went by. Their parent knows what to do and they get out the inhaler, but their first day of school, it's not quite what they anticipated. Or let's imagine A sunny day, a day like yesterday, a sunny day in rural America, where an elderly person is in their backyard gardening. As they weed their vegetable patch, wind currents carry nitrous oxide and methane from a local industrial farm several miles down the road to their yard. The air causes them such distress they have to go inside. Later, they have to call an ambulance to get more acute treatment. The thing about air that this school child and this elderly person are experiencing, that we all experience, is that air has no boundaries. While these two examples might experience the concentrated effect of polluted air, that same air is here, swirling around us now, simply less densely filled with pollutants. In her chapter, Conspiring Together, Breathing for Justice, which inspired this sermon, Dr. Laurel Kearns writes of researchers at the University of Michigan who compared where students attended school with air pollution levels. 82% of Black students went to schools in areas with high pollution versus 44% of white students. In many states, air pollution rates are taken from samples at the top of the building. Students, however, walk to school at tailpipe level, meaning that diesel fumes from trucks and buses are undermeasured. And if that isn't enough, Dr. Kearns continues by saying, struggling with asthma and other respiratory problems has a profound effect on students. Asthma causes missed school days and sleep deprivation, and thus often affects academic performance. The lack of oxygen to the brain can impact cognitive development, and the steroids that many children take contribute to hyperactivity and attention deficit. The latter further affects their ability to learn, but also is more likely to result in disciplinary actions that cause even more missed school days. There is a ripple effect building, slowly creating a stormy dance of consequences far larger than pollution. Breath, air, is the great equalizer. It's what all living things need, regardless if we're human, animal, or plant. If we're rich or poor, black or white, we all need to breathe. This great equalizer shows us that it is not simply about ecological concerns, but about racial and class concerns as well. The injustice in our world is intersectional in nature. To address our ecological crisis, we need to address white supremacy culture and racism. To address the ecological crisis, we need to acknowledge the economic privilege that impacts the economic disparity of others. The dance has been disrupted. It has become dissonant and grating. It disturbs the soul and spills over into our everyday lives that creates distance from each other and from our world. Even when the dance goes well, the effects are larger than what is happening in my lungs at this moment. What we do here has implications for those along the path that carries away our air waste. The dance is connected and reaches far beyond where we and what we breathe. You know this. You've worked hard to steward your land and your building, to cultivate an environment that honors the dance of holy breath. Your land shows the care you have in it through your prairie. The wood I stand on holds the memories of trees removed and reclaimed. The stones behind me stand as a testament to repurposing and honoring the sacred connection between yourselves and the earth. Many of you also do this work outside of your homes, or outside of your sacred home, in your personal homes, in your local community by volunteering, or even working in professional ways to restore the balance, to restore what has been lost, to restore the relationship between respiration and transpiration. This is good work. And there's so much more that needs to be done. In the Hebrew scriptures, the word for breath, air, spirit, and wind are one. The word ruah. The Hebrew creation myth in the biblical book Genesis uses the word ruah to describe how the Hebrew God's spirit animates the world through God's breath. That is, God's own spirit breath is that which gives life to all from out of the chaos, beginning the dance of creation. There's a connection here, I think, between this Hebrew creation myth and namaste. That is, the divine within me greets the divine within you. It's a similar premise can be found within humanism, that within our human selves we might find our potential. What if the breath of life is the divine spark, the connected potential within each of us, the essence of the great unnamed mystery that connects us to each other and all living things? The invisible, interconnected web of all creation embodied in our living planet, holding us through our lives. This interconnected web of breathing, the in and out of respiration and transpiration is a process of transformation. We cannot help but be transformed by the gift we are given by the trees. We cannot help but be transformed by the gift of the divine that lives within the shared breath of the people, plants, and animals all around us. You see, the interconnectedness is not just about the divine in each other and all of creation, but about the shared divinity of breath and the holiness of the very air, the element that we cannot live without. This is what it means to conspire, to breathe together the holy mystery that surrounds us, that we might be transformed and transform our world anew. The elements of oxygen and carbon dioxide as a holy, life-giving dance of mysterious connection and transformation. If that breath is holy, by which I mean it is precious, sacred, and worthy of our protection by virtue that it gives us life, we have a moral imperative to protect it for ourselves and the next generation, for all of creation. to renew our planet so that it brings forth life for all living things across species, races, classes, for all of us. Friends, I would like us to consider how we might conspire to aspire. To conspire to continue your ecological justice work, and maybe inspire how we might intersect it to work of racial and class justice. To conspire new ways and new initiatives to inspire us to live into your mission and our Unitarian Universalist principles. I would like to hear from you this week your longings, your dreams, the imaginings of your hearts and minds. I want to conspire with the inspirational potentials of shared ministry with you, within and beyond these walls. And the Ministerial Search Committee has created this art project with the help of Karen to have these dreams written down on the tree of life over there. You can get leaves and share your ideas on the various branches. Write them down, draw them if you will. I want to see them. I think your community wants to see your dreams. I want us to aspire, to conspire, to reach for breath together, to find the divinity within each other and let it transform us in relationship and as a community committed to growing in character, mind, and spirit, to conspire to become more together, to reach for great heights in community. Let us breathe together the possibilities. Blessed be. Amen. Please join me in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us. Rise in body or spirit.
We leave blessed by our connections to one another, given through the breath of life. Walk lightly that you might see that life is in all of creation. Spread your arms as if you had wings and could dance through the air. Feel the joy of the breath in your lungs and the fire in your heart. Live to love and be a blessing on this earth.
Breathe in. Breathe out. You have just communed with all of creation, participated in the interspecies ballet of life. As we leave this place, may we aspire to conspire. Blessed be.